Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Jerry Yatooma.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
How's it going, Jerry?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
We're doing good. We're doing good. What? Let's talk a little bit about you. What exactly do you do?
So I am the director of sales with the Pack Group. So we are a team of real estate agents in Plymouth with preferred realtors. We have 12 agents on our team. Last year we did about 75 million in sales, 268 transactions, and we're continuing to grow. So we're currently in the process of hiring a showing assistant, another ISA. So it's busy.
Yeah, I bet. So let's back it up a little bit. When you were really little, did you know you were going to be an agent when you grew up?
I did not.
What did you want to be?
I was going to be an agent. I wanted to be a coach.
Uh-huh.
When I was in elementary school, I had written a paper. The teacher asked what you wanted to be when you grow up, and my dream at that time was to take over the Duke University basketball program when Coach Krzyzewski retires.
That's awesome. Well, did he retire yet?
He is not. He was not. So I guess it's still a chance.
Yep. That's awesome. So how'd you get into real estate? How did you get to that process? Tell us about how you got from that and then to now doing real estate.
Yeah. So prior to being in real estate, I owned a couple of restaurants. They were franchises. And Jeff Packer, team leader of the Packer Group, used to come into my Plymouth location quite a bit. We developed a pretty good relationship. He was actually mine and my wife's agent when we bought the house that we're currently in 2009. And, 2010 came and I knew I just had to close up shop. Our price point was too high. The economy was not good. We were struggling to compete with national brands. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I asked, Jeff had brought somebody in to interview him because he was starting to grow. He was looking to bring on somebody as his buyer's agent. Happened to ask him who that person was. He told me who he was and what he was doing there with them. And I told him, well, that's something that I might be interested in. And Jeff and I met a couple days later for about 2 hours at the office. And that was it. I went home. I told my wife. And she said, do it. Just do it.
That's awesome.
Went and got licensed. I took the test online while I was still at the restaurants. Took a couple months off to spend with my only son at the time. Now, took the test and started, just after Labor Day of 2010.
Nice. So take us to that first transaction after you got your test. You were all on the team and everything. How did that go?
Oh boy, it was a bankruptcy.
Okay.
So it was a little tricky.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually happy that first transaction was not easy because I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it set me up to understand that this job is not easy. I think sometimes when people get into this profession and things are going smooth, the first time that they hit a rough patch, they tend to panic a little bit.
Yeah. So
I was able to learn pretty early on that that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
So as a bankruptcy, I just, whatever questions I had that people couldn't answer, I just figured it out. And did the best that I could to walk my client through it. And it's funny because now I have a picture of that house in my office at home as a reminder to, what that first transaction was, and kind of, you can't ever forget that, right?
Yeah, right. That's so cool that you kept that.
Yeah.
Look back at it.
Yeah.
Remember when?
Yeah. So what year was it that you got your license?
2010.
Nice. So when you So how'd you make that transition from the restaurants to just doing this full time? Was it like a smooth transition, or was it like, I'm just going to jump right into it?
I really just jumped right in. I mean, I remember, I closed the restaurants in July, right before the 4th of July of 2010. And then I would come in here every once in a while to just kind of watch Jeff, watch his, admin at the time, who is now an agent on our team, and just kind of learn as much as I possibly could.
Yeah.
Google was my best friend at the time, to be honest. Basically any question that I had, I would put in the question and just add Michigan at the end, because I know laws are a little bit different everywhere.
Yep.
And I just jumped in, and I remember, I think I was here about a week or two, and I was leaving the office at like 6:30, and my broker happened to be walking out at the same time, and he said to me, he goes, "Look, you're here every day." He's like, "I know your background, just stick with it and you're going to be fine." And that was huge for me. I will forever remember those words, because it can be discouraging at first, right?
Yep.
I mean, the whole thought is the day you start, even if you put something under contract that day, it's 30 days out to the paycheck, right?
Yep.
But there were a couple months where I just wasn't making any money, and that was fine. I knew that was a possibility. But Jeff, agents in this office, my broker, they were always so positive and always been willing to help. And it's just, I can never thank them enough for all the support that they've given me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, let's see here. What's some of the worst advice you've ever gotten?
The worst advice.
They're like, that was terrible.
Yeah. I don't know if I can't really think of any really bad advice that I've gotten. I've always been able to do a pretty good job of kind of filtering stuff out.
Yeah.
If somebody's given me advice and I think it's really bad, I'll just kind of disregard it.
Yeah.
If I think it's good advice, I'll look into it. But I can't really think of any really, really, really bad advice that anything.
No problem at all. Are you what do you got planned for the next couple of years? Are you going to build your own team, or are you
no, I mean, my plan is just to stay here. I mean, mine and Jeff's relationship's pretty special.
That's awesome.
I have no intention of leaving. For me, from day one, it's really been wanting to grow this thing.
Yeah, you've been at it for what now? Almost 11 years now, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, when I came out, I was his first agent.
Yeah, that's awesome. So good for you.
We've grown this thing together, and we have goals in mind, and I just I want to see this team really continue to grow and grow and grow over the years.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you said you guys have 12 agents now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then tell us a little bit about your kids. You said they're kind of doing something exciting this week.
Yeah. So I have two boys. Peyton is 13. Luke is 9. Both heavily involved in travel baseball. I actually coach my oldest son's 13U team. My 9-year-old plays on a 10U travel baseball team. We are actually leaving tomorrow to go to Las Vegas for a tournament that starts Thursday. So,
that's awesome.
He's pretty excited.
Hey, you said you want to do some coaching. So
I know, look, full circle.
You're still coaching.
Yeah, and I honestly love it. That's probably the only thing that could drag me away from real estate, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love coaching and teaching, and really that's a lot of what I'm doing here now with our agents is just a lot of coaching and teaching, and that's my true passion. I just absolutely love it. Can't get enough of it.
Nice. So you coach the new agents that come on then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's one piece? So, go ahead.
So they have my availability all the time with any questions that they have, and we meet every morning at 9 a.m. Whether it's in person or virtually, just as we like to get it done within 30 minutes. It's Mondays are typically just a check-in. How'd everybody's weekend go? Lately there's been a lot of positives, a lot of our agents getting people under contract, answering any questions that any of our agents have, any concerns. We built a really, really strong, tight-knit team. And I think the fact that we're with each other all the time has a lot to do with that. So that's what I do. So every agent that comes on, I have an agent training guide that we go through, and just really walk them through the steps and kind of teach them the way that we do things and prepare them for success. It's our job.
That's awesome. So let's say you had to start over today and you're a brand new agent, but you had all your knowledge. How would you spend $1,000?
Oh boy. If I had to start over as an agent on my own with $1,000, what would I do? Probably some sort of lead gen have to be, and just get in the habit of making those phone calls and following up with people. Because you have to have the leads to last, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have a huge sphere.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that was one thing that I did from day one, is I just probably annoyed my sphere, just because I'm not big on cold calling. So I figured, well, let me annoy the people that I already have relationships with and kind of go from there. And it's been good. So every agent that comes on our team, I tell them, just don't rely on other people to get you business. Rely on generating your own business. Let people know what you're doing, let your friends know, your family know, everybody you went to high school with. With Facebook, there's 300, 400, 500 people on your friends list that you haven't seen in 20 years. Let them know. You'd be surprised what comes out of it, and how many relationships that you had 20 years ago that you're going to have a relationship with them again because of this.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good idea. Let's say you had to recommend a book to one of your new agents. What book would you recommend to those agents?
What book would I recommend to one of our agents?
Or what is the favorite one you've read? One of the two.
We recently read, I can't even think of the name of it. We read a really good book recently on team building.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the book escapes me right now. But it went into detail about different departments within an organization and their executive teams having regular meetings and going off on a retreat, and kind of what came out of it, and how sometimes having tough conversations with people that you work closely with actually brings you closer together and you get a lot more accomplished, right?
Yeah.
Those tough conversations aren't always fun for everyone, but I think a lot of positives come out of those things, because you always know when you have a tough conversation with somebody, you know where they stand, right? And they know where you stand, and you can grow from that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I like it. How can people get a hold of you?
You can email me at jerry@welcomehomedetroit.com. Cell number is 248-935-0107. Available all the time. Anytime somebody needs to get a hold of me.
Sweet. I like it. Before we go, tell us a little bit about the brokerage you're at. Tell us a little bit about your guys' team.
So the team or the brokerage itself?
I guess the team. The team's probably more of what you're working with all the time. So tell us about the team.
Yeah. So team leader Jeff Packer. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is. Jeff's got a great reputation in this industry. He's a brother to me, so I absolutely love him. Jeff, his sister Jamie is also on our team. just got a lot of really good people. Our ops team is fantastic. Our marketing team is fantastic. We have about 20 people on this team. We have a staging company that'll help people with prepping their home for sale, staging. We're actually all getting together tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock to move our staging furniture from one storage unit to a larger storage unit, just because that's growing. Just a really, really, really good group of people, down to earth, just people that do things the right way, a true team working with one another for the ultimate goal, for everybody to be successful.
That's awesome. Is there anything else you want to share with everyone before we go?
No, I think you have any more questions for me?
Nope. That should be pretty much it. Thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime.
Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think that worked. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. What do we got to point at it? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
It might be there.
might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review for listening to on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.